Thing one tonight, it was a signature campaign promise from the very moment he announced his candidacy. Donald Trump believed China was manipulating its currency, devaluing it, and he was going to do something about it.
China's killing us. They're devaluing their currency to a level that you wouldn't believe. It makes it impossible for our companies to compete. China has so manipulated their currency. China so manipulates their currency. They manipulate the hell out of their currency. And by the way, I love China. When I hear devaluation of the Chinese currency, you know the word, the sucking action. That's called a sucking, like a vacuum cleaner. I have the sucking action. Currency manipulation. It is a disaster. China, they devalue their currency. China is a tremendous abuser of the United States. It's probably the single greatest theft in the history of the world, what China's done to us. What they do with their currency is unbelievable. There's no better currency manipulator ever in the world than China. They manipulate their currency. And nobody in history has done it like China. China cheats. They devalue their currency. We can't continue to allow China to rape our country, and that's what they're doing. It's the greatest theft in the history of the world. I'm going to instruct my Treasury Secretary to label China a currency manipulator. A currency manipulator. Nobody has ever manipulated currency like China. They're devaluing their currencies. We do nothing about it. Folks, I'm going to do so much about it. It's going to be so easy. A currency manipulator, the greatest in the world. I like China. They buy condos all the time. But you know what? They are a currency manipulator. I will direct my Secretary of the Treasury to label China a currency manipulator. They are. They know it.
This was so important to Donald Trump. He promised that on day one of his presidency, he would label China a currency manipulator. Okay, so spoiler alert, Trump did not label China a currency manipulator on day one. But on day 83, he did get around to addressing the issue. That's thing two in 60 seconds. Just 1 week after his Mar-a-Lago summit with the Chinese president, Donald Trump retracted one of his key repeated campaign promises. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Mr. Trump said his administration won't label China a currency manipulator in a report due this week. They're not currency manipulators, Mr. Trump said. Literally the exact opposite of what he said repeatedly ad nauseum on the campaign trail.
China so manipulates their currency. They manipulate the hell out of their currency. They devalue their currency. They manipulate their currency. China cheats. They devalue their currency. We are going to label China a currency manipulator.
When the Wall Street Journal asked about his complete flip-flop, Mr. Trump said the reason he's changed his mind on one of his signature campaign promises is that China hasn't been manipulating its currency for months, and because taking the step now could jeopardize his talks with Beijing on confronting the threat of North Korea.